Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video. Now today is a big one. We're going to predict the whole bottom half of the Premier League table. There's so many teams in this relegation battle that aren't safe just yet and are really in the thick of it. So today we're going to go through it all. Make sure before we get into this video you've dropped a like and subscribed. Let me know your predictions down below. And let's get into this. Let's start at the top end of the bottom half where I've gone for Newcastle United, who ultimately I think actually could finish in the top 10, but I've put them 11th for now. I think we knew this would happen. They've absolutely flown away from it and they're really in no danger anymore. The signings they made have really kept them up. The owners coming in did come at a big time because under Steve Bruce we were a bit unsure, weren't we? But Eddie Howe and the players are thriving to excellence, and what a brilliant 2022 they've had. Only 1 or 2 defeats this year, and that one to Chelsea just gone. You could argue they really should have got something from that game. So Newcastle for me are easily staying up. We don't have to touch on them too much. Next up in 12th place, I've gone for Crystal Palace. Now, having just watched them against Man City, real resilient performance. And I've got to say, I was wrong. I predicted them at the start of the season to really struggle because of the change in management. I think Roy Hodgson did a solid job at Crystal Palace, and I thought someone coming in could disrupt that, but Vieira's done brilliant. I think the players they've got this season, Zaha, Gallagher, I could go on. They've been fantastic this year, and yeah, that 0-0 against Man City does show that made of stern stuff. Really, they had no right to try and take a point off Man City, and they've done Liverpool a big favour there. I don't think they're in any relegation battles. They could also finish in the top half. Next up, I'm going for Southampton. 3 defeats in a row against Villa, Newcastle and Watford. So, not great, considering they did have a really good start to the season. Ultimately, they'll still finish in and around mid-table because they're a good club and good players, but yeah, maybe only slumped to about 45 points because of this current run. They will probably turn things around and get a couple more wins. I'm projecting them to get about 10 points in their last 9 games, so I think Southampton will be fine. No relegation worries for them either. Now, this is where it's going to start to get a bit tricky. There's a few teams down here that really aren't safe just yet. I'm going to go for Brentford next. I'm going to go for Brentford. I think what's crucial for them is their last 2 results. I think ultimately where this relegation battle is won and lost is the games against each other. They've just beaten Norwich and they've just beaten Burnley. I think those results alone really could be it for Brentford. They have got a tough run in, but back-to-back wins with Ericsson looking good, Tony's firing. I think Brentford should stay up. I really wanted them to. I think they've been a really good addition to the Premier League, coming up from the Championship through the playoffs. And yeah, I think they will be safe. Probably only need 1 win and a couple of draws to just get over the line, but the quality there and the momentum they've got, I know they've got a tough run in, but I think they'll get over the line. Now, this might surprise you. In 15th place, I'm going for Brighton and Hove Albion. 5 defeats in a row at the time of recording this, so they are really on a downward trend. They will turn it around at some point. Surely they won't lose all their games from now until the end of the season. If they do, I mean, they really could go down, but I don't think they will. I think they've got enough in them to get a few more points on the board. A pretty tough run incoming, but they have only scored 1 in their last 5, so questionable finish here from Brighton and Hove Albion. But we've seen through the start of the season and under Graham Potter, really, Brighton can play some good football. Just got to start getting results again. Now then, we're on to the bottom 5 where this is absolute chaos. They could finish in absolutely any order. I'm going for Leeds United. That win against Norwich City has to be a turning point for Leeds. They've got some winnable games coming. I think if they get up to about 34 points, that would be enough. So that's 2 wins and a couple of draws in this final run, and you think Leeds are capable of that. They've got a couple of 6-pointer games coming, but yeah, you just think that win against Norwich is a massive turning point. I was watching that game, and when Norwich equalised, I was thinking this could really be the end of Leeds United. I mean, that would have been a damaging result just to draw that. And they won. I think they deserve to win, Leeds. They've looked good at times this season. Ultimately, Bielsa getting sacked, you could say that was the right decision or the wrong decision, but they were losing a lot of games, and maybe they lost a little bit of identity with Bielsa going out the door, but I think ultimately they'll find a new identity. They've still got quality players, and just to stay up this season, considering the injuries they've had, would be a great achievement for Leeds United. Now, this is where I'm going to put the cat amongst the pigeons, because in 17th place, I've gone for Watford Football Club. Now, you're going to have to hear me out, because a lot of you might think, how are they going to survive and the other teams go down? Ultimately, Watford in the recent weeks, not that they've been perfect in every game, but in the odd game, they're showing signs of a team that just gets enough points to stay up. I think with Roy Hodgson, I like this manager. I know Watford are a bit crazy and chop and change their managers, but Roy Hodgson, we saw at Palace, he keeps a club up, doesn't he? And he's done that with a few clubs. I think they've got big games coming. I know people are going to say, how are Watford going to get the points? They need probably 3 wins, and they've got 4 home games against Leeds, Brentford, Burnley and Everton. how big of an opportunity is that for Watford? Okay, you can say Watford haven't been good at home this season, but they've got big games coming. They've been decent on the road, by the way. It's worth saying. The result at Villa, the result at Manchester United, the result at Southampton, I think they're showing more signs of survival than the other three. So yes, I'm going for Everton to go down in 18th place. I know a few people have said, oh, can they? Surely they can't. I think they will. I really think they will. I'm not doing this on a whim. I've been studying this relegation battle before I got into this video, and I'm just looking at it thinking, how are Everton going to do it? I'll run you through their April fixtures, which is just before that final run-in. They've got West Ham United away, Manchester United at home, Liverpool away, and Chelsea at home. I don't think Everton are going to pick up many points in those games. I think they've got decent players, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, when they're all fit and playing together, okay, they're decent, but at the moment, is there really any identity? And I look at that back line and I think it's very fragile. There's no men looking to take hold of this and really fight for them to survive. I think Everton might go down with a win. Now next up I'm going for Burnley in 19th place. I think they could survive, but ultimately with Burnley, I just don't think there's the quality this season. I know a lot of people will say don't rule Burnley off until they're actually mathematically relegated, because of history telling us they always do survive. And I think with Sean Dyche, they might have the longevity out of all these and an identity the most out of these bottom 5 clubs. But yeah, Burnley, a lack of quality. Okay, Weghorst has come in, he looks like a decent player, but they've got a tall ask here. I think they've probably got to win 4. I know Burnley and Everton have got games in hand, so they could sneak through here, but I'm going for them to go down. So then in bottom place, it won't surprise many of you, I've put Norwich City there. It will be frustrating for the Norwich fans, because I think at times this season, they've been okay, haven't they? When Dean Smith came in, and I think through January when they beat Everton and they won 3-0 at Watford, it was almost like, hang on, here we go, this is looking all right. I think they drew with Palace as well, and it was like, this is really going to take off. But no, they played Liverpool and Man City, which kind of denied them a good run, and then since then they've lost to the likes of Southampton and Leeds at the weekend. It just shows they've got a bit of a fragile nature to them. It really wouldn't surprise me if Norwich do go down bottom and then finish top of the Championship next year. It really is their nature, isn't it? But yeah, like I say, very frustrating for the Norwich fans, but I don't think many of us do fancy them to stay up anymore. So then guys, that wraps up my predictions. Let me know if you agree or disagree with what I've said down below. It's a big end to the season coming. Let me know your predictions. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.